Got that trippy beat taking you up so high. Every drop a diamond in the night sky. Level up your game, no need to ask why. Come get a cup, feel the magic flow. We pour into the audience, watch us glow. One drip at a time, take it nice and slow. In our daily drip show, let your style grow. Pouring into hearts with each heavy beat. Raindrops of rhythm make us all complete. Audience waving hands, feel the heat. Dripping in finesse, can't beat. Colors of the night, mixing shades so deep. Every drop we spill makes the vibe steep. Cups overflowing as we take that leap. In the daily drip show, dreams we keep. Come get a cup, feel the magic flow. We pour into the audience, watch us glow. One drip at a time, take it nice and slow. In our daily drip show, let your style grow. Raindrops falling like life's endless beat. In the street we move with swagger on repeat. Neon lights reflecting on the wet concrete. In this daily drip shows hypnotic heat. Every step we take, synchronized and bold. Underneath the storm, our stories unfold. In the city glow, our fashion never old. We drip in style, conquer hearts uncontrolled. Watch us move, watch us glide. Through the rain and the night we slide. Drip too strong, you can't hide. Join the show, let's ride this tide.
Raindrops fall on city pavement, washing secrets in the dark. Daily drip, the crowd's amazement. Knowledge streaming comes to spark. Thunder in the nighttime sky.
Get them ready. What up, what up? What up, what up, and welcome to our daily drip show. I'm the producer, Cassius Pay. up in this thing. And I'm with the co-host, plain Dane, with all kind of background wind in the back, but it's all good. So we gonna go ahead. So we gonna go ahead and roll with all of that. And yeah, we gonna pull them up because we got some things to talk about. What we gonna talk about today? Plain Dane while Jim Jones gets ready.
Sure, we can talk about whatever you want to talk about, man. There's so much going on in the world, especially from political standpoint. However you, hey,
All right.
I mean, for one, I know we're gonna probably, I don't know if we're gonna dig into it or not, but yeah, I will say this. I did have a conversation today online, which I thought was it was hilarious. I had a guy that wanted to argue with me. Guess he's a lefty. He decided that the world is going to hell right now. Everything is terrible. Inflation is upon us. I'm like, what? Like, what are you talking about?
Inflation's been upon us, to be honest.
I'm like, yeah, dude, we're maneuvering through inflation now. No, you don't understand. This president, I'm like, what did he do?
Same
What has
one.
he done? I said, what has he done in 116 days that's made your life so terrible? I'm like, I desperately need to know this. And this wasn't me being funny. I just really wanted to know how much damage can one person do in 116 days, from his point of view. He has his emotions. I have my facts, right? So I'm listening to him. He like, the tariffs is ruining everything. I said, how? Well, haven't you noticed? I'm like, notice what? Notice that we made $200 million a day in April off tariff payout. That doesn't sound accurate. I'm like, that's what we made. We made $200 million a day. I'm like, April was the first official month that tariffs really went into effect heavy, the way that Trump has said it. I said 200 million a day. I said we made 17 billion just in the month of April. Over 100,000 jobs was created. 100,000 manufacturing jobs were created just in April. And then I didn't hear from him again after that.
Oh, that was it? After that was
it. After that, he didn't respond. I'm like, I guess he went. And this is the thing. I didn't present it in a way that I wanted to be argumentative. I could debate with anybody, especially when I know I'm armed with the facts. If I don't know something, I'm very open to learn. I like learning. I love to learn. I'm going to be forever a pupil. I'm never the know-it-all guy. I'm always welcome to any type of education somebody could give me on any subject, any variety of things you may want to talk about. I'm open. If I have some insight on it, I'll speak towards it. But I'm also a guy that'll sit there and talk to somebody and they'll say, well, Dane, you need to go check this out, man, because you talking about this, but I don't think you look at it from this point of view. Not a problem, brother. I'm about to go check it out. And then if I see it and I see that there's some factual things that you mentioned that I can actually go and verify, I'm going to come back to you and tell you, like, bro, you definitely got one there. I appreciate that, man. I'm going to pay it forward. I'm going to let my people know the information you just gave me. I'm going to make sure some other folks get it as well. I'm not going to gatekeep this information, and we all need to learn to move like that. I mean, we so busy trying to be right. And that's really the part that irritates me the most. People love to be so damn right about everything. We don't have all the answers. We should have all the questions right now. No one or two people has all the answers. So it's okay if we learn from one another. You may have some information that may be pertinent to things that I'm trying to do, either on a business level or personal. I'm a sponge for information. So I just thought that was funny that this guy was really on his soapbox. I mean, he was going in about how terrible everything is right now. And I was just like, you do realize that, I'm like, you do realize what's going on. I'm like, the thing is, we spend so much time hating people. Like the Trump derangement syndrome is real. It's real. It's scary even. You know what I mean? But
from a macro standpoint, like I don't think we should be having, what the president does on an executive level is not as important as what we do day to day. Like, yes, some of those policies will have an impact, but it takes a long time for those kind of impacts to happen. That usually gives everyone enough time to figure out what the heck they're gonna do. So
right.
you just gotta be
Exactly.
aware and be on your P's and Q's and not blame stuff for happening because stuff is gonna happen regardless. So you need to just understand what you're gonna do in that amount of time that something gonna happen. Give yourself options. Keep options. Some people choose to run and go to different countries as their option. That's their prerogative. They got the
Yeah.
means to do that. But at the
I've
same
been
time,
talking to folks about
right.
that too lately.
But then tell me about it. What y'all been talking about?
I mean, I've had in the space that I work in, I'm in the insurance space. So I speak to a lot of people. The favorite thing that I'm hearing is I'm gonna go to this country. I'm moving away to this country. And I don't really think that people are really, really like,
Hold up. Let me. Let
and
me. What you think about that, Jim Jones? Oh. Oh. Okay. Oh yeah, that's nice. Yeah, that's nice.
yeah,
All right. All right. Cool. All right. Sorry to cut you off. I just wanted to make sure I got her input on that. You know what I'm
okay.
saying?
Whatever.
Right.
But anyways. No, but I had someone talking to me. Basically, everybody's about to escape America. America is so messed up. This president's gonna do this, he's gonna do that, yada yada yada. And this universal health care. And I'm like, I asked somebody, I said, well, what does universal health care look like to you? In your research, what does that look like? I'm like, because it was like, well, it's free. I said, yeah. What happens when something is free?
Mm-hmm.
What happens when something is free? That means everyone has access to it, which means that you got an abundance of people that's going to see the same doctors you're seeing. So how soon do you think you're going to be getting that physical? Now, right out of the country. Then I have to explain to people, I have so many people from other countries like Canada that want to come here strictly to get insurance just to see a doctor quicker. Because I had a guy tell me, he said, yeah, man, I made my appointment to get my blood work for 2026 now. I said, what? But it made sense. You got a bunch of people going to see doctors, and there's only so many doctors that can see people, especially when it's free, And now we run into a situation here with everything going on where you got actual hospital systems that won't even see people unless they pay their co-pays up front.
I forgot about that. That's
Yeah.
something we got to get into.
Yes, we do. It's a thing right now. I'm not even gonna shout out the systems that's doing it, but let's just say there's
It's
a
gonna be
few.
a real thing. It's gonna be pay to play for real.
It
Yeah.
is. It's already
Well,
is.
it been pay to play to be honest. Pay for real service versus others.
Yeah.
It used to be bad. It used to be worse back in the day because I remember where some hospital like they send you to the county hospital, and that used to be worse than every other
Yeah.
hospital. I remember back
Like
in the
you
day, it
get,
used to be like
yeah,
that in
you
the
get
80s.
shot. You get
Yeah.
shot, and they take you to.
Don't take me to
Don't
everybody
take
don't
me
take me
there.
to
Don't
yeah,
take me there, because they. I'm gonna
because
die
they
there.
they don't make it out. Yeah,
It's just gonna be an intern there with a rusty spoon, trying to dig the bullet
dig
out.
that
Don't
bullet
take me
out.
there.
Ah,
Take me to my auntie house. She got some alcohol and some toothpicks. I'd do better with her. Yeah. Yeah, man.
yeah.
So it's like that overseas too. So like if you got some money, you know, those who have money, who have means, who are of means are going to be the ones to see the doctors first. Just the same as here in the States. So it's no difference. It's no difference no matter where you go. It's just that here we spend more money on healthcare than anybody. You know, Europe, they pay whatever all the other countries are paying. We pay triple that, quadruple that, 5 times that even for medication. So, you know, that's just another thing I've been hearing about. So all of this, I'm going to flee America stuff. America sets the tone for the world, baby. I hate to break it to you. We set the tone for the world. We do.
That's the whole reason why everybody want at least that passport. Other people that give it up, they give it up for other reasons. But that's gonna be very far and in between. And what we about to do now is pull up the leader.
Hey, clap it up for my dog, Jiminy Jones.
Let me get my glasses on because gotta be able to make sure I can see.
I quote.
Right,
there we go. There we go. Okay. Run.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
MC, what it do?
Oh wow. Okay, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling?
We good.
Can you hear me okay? Do I sound low? Should I talk louder?
We hear you great. We hear you great.
Cool.
I see the show is sponsored by Ralph Lauren today. You know what I mean?
It should be the way they sending me coupons.
Hey, you too. Father's Day gonna be lit with the socks.
They gonna get the same thing the woman got for Mother's Day.
Mother's got lobster dinners and baskets. I get socks. I'm excited about my damn socks.
I happened to be out of town when Mother's Day was going on and was looking for somewhere to go. And they like, good luck. It's Mother's Day brunch day. I'm like, oh, I forgot. People do take their mamas out to brunch and stuff on Mother's Day. Growing up, like we ain't do all that. My mom just asked for us to just leave her alone.
That's what you had to do.
Yeah, no, she said don't ask me for nothing.
Get out my face for my birthday.
For real, that was all she wanted. So like when people like
F up for my birthday.
No, for real. But like that's why when people like, I gotta take my mama out to brunch. I'm like, brunch? You spending money? My mama just wants you to just leave. Act like she don't exist. Don't come home.
My mama used to be like, yeah, you know what today is, right? Where my card? Where's the money? Where is the money? House.
Don't come back till about 8 o'clock.
I told you.
That sounds like mama trying to get busy right there. I ain't trying to. Give me the money. That sounds like mama trying to get. Don't come back till when the lights come on.
She said, "Go ahead and give me some Newports and the 5th floor rolls for the liquor store close."
Right.
Like my man Crazy Bones said.
I didn't change the whole subject, but like I said, that was crazy. Like, oh, you know, you were. I know y'all was. I know. I guess we're not supposed to name the hospital system. That's like we're not gonna see you unless you pay your. It's about paying your copay up front. So if you got a copay, they're not gonna help you until you fulfill your copay. Meaning, for those of y'all who don't understand all the insurance, like if you got a deductible. That means
Let
you
me
have
write
to hit.
You a check. They're gonna be like, we're gonna wait till that check clear.
Yeah, we need that 6,000 up front, baby.
Yeah. You sit in the waiting room. On this bed. Yeah, you just sit in the waiting room rocking with a gown on, like, no, you're not even in the room at that point. You got the gown on, holding it closed. Talking about some, did it clear yet? Did y'all get it yet? Y'all got it? You got it? Okay, cool.
Them bankruptcies must be something crazy then. That's all I can think of. It's like it must be clearing bankruptcies and stuff, something crazy like write-offs for them to take such measures. I don't know why, but I can only assume that must probably play a part.
People maxing out them HSA accounts and people swiping that card and then going home on the way home. They like, I'm going to debate that purchase. I didn't okay that purchase.
What?
And on an hospital.
It wasn't.
No, I'm talking about a credit. I'm talking about a credit card.
Oh, okay.
They called the credit card company like, I did not tell them to do that. That is not what I told them to do.
Like, ma'am, you got a whole new hip. You didn't tell them to do that X-ray.
I did not tell them. No, that colonoscopy was supposed to be free. Baby. Colonoscopy was supposed to be free.
I'm done. I'm tired.
I could have did a colonoscopy for free. You know what I'm saying?
Turn over. Let me stick this. Hold on.
Oh,
I got one of these things right here. Like what? It look like this, right? Like whoa.
You like just Doc, how
Whoa.
much is that? Just turn it over. Get the stethoscope right now. Just tell me if you hear a heartbeat down there. Just go ahead. Just put the stethoscope in there. How much is that? Because I ain't paying those
Yeah.
$700 for that.
Look, if you willing to take this, it's $10.
If I pay you any more money, you gonna throw some R. Kelly on.
And like, look, this right here free. What?
Throw some Trey Songz
Yeah,
on.
but
We
this
got to set a mood in
the
here.
tongue depressor. This tongue depressor costs 50 cents now.
Oh my goodness.
You
Okay.
need two.
But on paper, $100.
Right,
That's
exactly.
crazy. That's crazy work though. Like that's just crazy.
Yeah, man.
I know you were talking about tariffs. I'm hopping in super late. I know you popped on. You talked about tariffs for a minute.
Well,
I'll
I'll debrief you real quick. I was
Okay.
talking about. I was online, speaking with somebody that was just complaining for the sake of complaining, and I was just telling our producer, I'm like, I just wanted to know, because I'm like, look, life is beautiful. It's nice outside. You know, the DoorDash person knocked my mailbox down, but other than that, my day was going great. And I'm like, I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on. Like, what you tripping on? And he was just like, the world is going to hell in the handbasket, you know, just going off, and it's bad. And you know, eggs is high. And I'm like, you buying eggs is high? Like, what's going on? You know,
look, my dude try to be a bodybuilder. He talking about the eggs high, baby.
Not me. You dude online was just doing all of this. And I said, well, can you break it down for me? What's so damn bad about the world right now? You know.
Okay,
Well,
so that's how that got into
Trump and these tariffs. I said the tariffs that's making us 200 million a day.
Okay.
Those tariffs.
Okay, that's how you got into that. Okay.
Yeah, so I was just asking them, like, I mean, I'm like, last time I checked, just in the month of April, it made us 17 billion. We made in tariff pay. And 100,000 jobs.
She's trying to insert. She's about to try to shoehorn you with a segue. I already see her face.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that was. Okay.
Speaking of rape,
right.
You saw her. Look, I tried to throw it off the backboard so she could catch it, but I ain't.
Look, the lives and the political. It's actually harder for me to do segues because like we're kind of serious-ish, you know. But it's our other stuff. It's easy to do a segue because the world is crazy.
I got you.
No, I was just trying to make sure that I didn't like cut you off from where you already were going because I know we were gonna segue into. I mean, we talking about people who ain't got a couple dollars. We was gonna talk about that Section 8 cuts. We rolling into that already?
No, we ain't touched that yet. Let's get to it.
So how about we take it back a second?
Oh, you gonna do this? We gonna lose watchers from this. They'll be like, oh, he busting out definitions. You know, but our analytics, as soon as you start being educated, it'd be like, what you mean you got a definition?
Boom.
If you
ain't trying to learn
and get like a background, then you just like pauses for a couple seconds and go forward.
Yeah.
I don't mean you have to leave, but like we do want to give context and actual definitions and so forth for our actual show as well, just so you know, to give a little more background, because I don't know if these two over here even said anything about it. Jim Jones in the building, but we want this to be fun, but also informative. So if you are not wanting to be informed, meaning like actual definitions and what things mean and references and stuff, just hit that pause button for like a minute or so and then keep on going, because we'll come back to the mess. But we just do want to give some actual factual information and sources in which where we got it from. All right, continue, producer. Hold on, viewers. Just hold on.
So so I just would like to tell people what it is that we actually talking about, because people know what Section 8 is, and some people might not know what it is. So I'm trying to inform people of what it actually is, and how it works. So Section 8, officially known as Housing Choice Voucher Program, HCV, is a federal program that allows rental assistance to low-income individuals. Now, that is a sliding scale on low income. I'm gonna just put that out there too.
That's relevant to this conversation, though. So
right.
keep that in your mind as we go into this.
Right. So it typically allows private market housing to be subsidized for a portion of rent. We can talk about people that are purposely in the private market paying millions upon millions of dollars preying on this particular set of, we'll call it quote unquote free money that they getting by certain segments. So we can talk about that. So the portion of the rent typically paying at least 30% of their income towards rent. And if they ain't got no income, then how much they paying towards rent? Paying 0% towards rent. So how does it work? Right. Participants are issued a voucher, and sometimes it's like a lottery, sometimes it's not, depending on what your circumstances is. Single parents, all that, you kind of get pushed up into the list. Who's at the bottom of that list? Single men is gonna be at the bottom of that list. I'm just gonna put
Yeah,
it
get
out
up
there
and
and
go
let you
sweep
know.
something. What you mean? You better move some bricks. What you doing? What you mean?
Yeah. So you're gonna be waiting if you a quote unquote man in America thinking that you're gonna get on Section 8. You be out there with a shopping cart or something with a tent.
I mean,
Um,
a real question to you is when you see a grown man out there holding a sign talking about, want some money, don't say nothing about working or no opportunity or nothing. You drive by, what you really think?
you don't want to know what I think.
I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying. Like, you know what? No,
You
we
had to
don't have
ask
to
this
give what we
man what
think.
he think.
No, wait. How about
Okay.
our drippers? Go ask an elder what
Oh
they
you want
think
to ask
when
somebody
they
born before
see when they
1960?
see a grown, yeah, if it was born, find somebody born before 1970 and ask them if you see a man over the age of 18 holding a sign talking about I need money, please help. What they think? We ain't even got a comment. Just ask anybody born before 1970.
Situations will arrive. Nigga, you better get a job about it. But that's
Sweeping
what we saying.
floors.
We coming through that freeway. Kids, don't look. Don't look to the left. Everybody look straight. My daughter.
I've had somebody pop my
Daddy,
window.
write it down. Give him $1. God damn it.
I had a grown man pop my window because I wasn't paying attention to him asking for some money. I cracked my window. Was like, oh, so you fearing for your life?
Right.
Right.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, but it could have been me. I'm just saying in general. You don't know who you pop a window. You don't know who in the back of the car.
Right.
What you doing?
Might hop out and say, "Hey, can you spare
windows.
change for your life?"
I got tinted windows. You don't know who in the back. What you doing? What you doing, baby?
Doing it all wrong.
Anyways, like I said, our drippers, go ask somebody born before 1970. And then ask them a follow-up question of, do you think it's fair that it is really hard for them to get Section 8? Comment what they said. I would love to hear the comedic responses because it's gonna be pure comedy. We can't even make that up. Do that. Just humor us.
First of all, I'm gonna tell you, the scam back in the late 70s and early 80s was find you a nice young lady with about 4 or 5 kids.
It still is. We just call them the hobo essuals.
Nah, but what I'm saying is back then it hit a little different because she didn't work. She was at home because she was getting
now
they're
working and paying for that,
and she was getting stamps, and she had rental assistance. Her rent was $12. Them kids was at school. You knew between the hours of 8 and 2 p.m. you had somewhere you could lay up and chill.
Right, where the soap,
so that was
soap was on.
Yeah, you sit there
watching guys
trying to get it on to the boom, boom,
Young
boom,
and the Restless.
Boom, while the soap opera's playing in the background. You watching Bold and the Beautiful. You and they talking about what Victor them got going on Young and the Restless. Damn, Victor done bought another building.
I think Nicholas still out here doing this thing. It's crazy.
Yeah, rolling the little tight little J, eating them crackers, them graham crackers.
Oh, so yeah, anybody born in them generations, that's immediately what they go to then, because that makes sense. That's immediately what they think about.
Yeah.
So as we talk through Section 8, keep that in mind, and don't forget, drippers, ask your elders what they think about able-bodied men holding signs asking. Matter of fact, just ask them about men in general, because I don't even think they even care if they're able-bodied or not, to be honest with you. I don't think they care. His arms work, right? Man,
Everybody had a hustle. Everybody had a hustle.
his legs work, right?
Speaking of working, I'm going to talk about the eligibility to qualify
Yeah,
for
go
Section
ahead.
8. Individuals and families must meet specific income guidelines, typically based on percentage of the area's median income. So, if you in Alabama, that's going to be different than the threshold for LA, for example. So, if you in Alabama, it might be a lot easier to come up on certain houses, and then when you're in LA, it might be harder, but you will have more money to spend when it comes to doing that. So what I used to here, I'm gonna go ahead and pause this real quick to go back to y'all. What the game used to be was that someone would get their Section 8 in, we'll say a low income area, and then transfer to no
Oh, okay. So you
a large.
transitioning to what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
because that's what happened, and then that's when she get highfalutin. That's when she stopped, answering that late night call. Well, you ain't got no car. Don't no bus come all the way out here.
Well, that brings up what's going on with the policy change. So if when we talk about federal government, Trump, his administration, a lot of their viewpoints are we as the federal government shouldn't be making these macro level decisions. How about we just say we not finna sponsor that no more. States do what y'all do. And so that would mean the scenario that just was described would be
uh-huh.
either impossible or incredibly hard because if you live in, let's say, Minnesota, right? You got assistance. Sorry, let me make sure assistance in Minnesota. You can't just be like, Miami sounds great, and just go to Florida because Florida gonna be like, you're gonna have to go ahead for residency. Let us
There
know
you
why you
go.
should be here. How much money you didn't put in here? Are you really a citizen? Are you really a taxpayer? And so it used to not be like that. You could just say, hey, I've been getting assistance in Minnesota. Here's my paperwork. And they say, all
Yep.
right, cool. We're going to go ahead and just honor that because the federal government is dropping that money. When you start talking about, I want to get some of your money, they're going to be like,
Yeah, out of my budget,
What?
you want my money?
who is Jimmy? Who man's is this?
What's they talk about this money?
My my my
My
money?
money? Forever, ever?
Yeah, you.
No, now your ass gotta get it. You gotta get back on that list, boo boo. You better go stay with your auntie. Go stay with Jeezy's auntie where she kept the yams.
You came out here with no peepers? How did you get out here?
How you make it here? Well, damn. I guess you just gonna have to go stay in the they're gonna have you go stay
the shelter, right?
The shelter until we can get you on that list, baby. Other than that, why don't you fill out this here application? Go
Speaking
get
of
you a
list,
job.
it says the wait list for Section 8 can be very long and have many local programs, and many local programs are closed to new applicants. So,
Oh yeah, and if you a man, you ain't even
uh,
on the list. Just don't even
yeah, you
bother.
ain't on the
You
list.
better
You ain't
have
on
kids. If you ain't got no baby, you ain't on the list. Don't bother.
And then on top of that, get out there, right? The voucher recipients usually have between 2 and 4 months to secure housing that meets HUD standards. So even if you find a spot, that spot has to pass all the
The
codes
inspection.
that all the inspections. And if they ain't been up on that before, and they be like, look, I ain't doing all that. I ain't fixing no paint. I ain't fixing no windows. I ain't fixing no floors. You getting it for the low or not? And you gonna have to be like or not. So that's how that kind of rolls for people who want the particular uh program.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for my spiel on that. So
All
we
right.
can get into it, or y'all can have y'all discussions around that, or I'll start
Well,
pulling up. It's up
real
to you.
quick, I mean the biggest reason why we're talking about it is because they're cutting it. But the main thing is this. All of the stuff we just talked about is a means to an end. It's not the end of the rainbow, and that's how it has been treated. People have been abusing these programs for decades. You know, you got folks that's been on that list dying on that list.
That's crazy.
And then their name get pulled, and the kids is like, well, can't we use my mama's? Because my mama's name was on there. They like, no, you got to fill out your own app. So, you know, and on top of that, not to mention,
$33 billion is a lot of money.
Yeah, not to mention the folks that's been this is a business too. So you gotta ask yourself, how many people done slid somebody a couple of dollars to try to move up that list? Everything is pay for play. You know what I mean?
Of the pay though, like for me, it's like it might people try to get on there and stay for life.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like that, like it's like a ticket. I made it. And to me,
like,
that can be problematic. Like I get it that housing needs to be procured, but this is actually artificially inflating rent. That's really all that it says to me, is that it's artificially inflating rent because people know that the government is going to give them, quote unquote, the market. The market get reset if the money ain't there from the government. So we were talking about affordability that actually happens rather than what's going on today. Like I said, whole multi-million, billion-dollar businesses are made off of this because they know that money is gonna come there like clockwork. They ain't gotta go to nobody's, they ain't gotta go to nobody's court. They ain't gotta do none of that because you're gonna pay your $12 a year and the rest is coming from Uncle Sam.
But look though, in this elimination, to be clear, it says that this rental assistance will go to elderly and disabled tenants. It does not. It does include 25 million housing grants for youth aging out of foster care. So that's good. Okay. Now it eliminates 3.3 billion in community development block grant program. So whatever that is, such as skateboard parks. I'm sure they use the most mild thing that they could find. I'm sure there's some bigger things.
I mean, no more basketball courts, niggas. That's what they saying.
Wow, we dropping the N word up in here. It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, no more skateboard parks. Another one is like the home partnership program, which is like expanded state and local housing. So basically, they're saying we not gonna fund y'all. Y'all use y'all taxpayer money and figure out how y'all gonna do what y'all do. Consolidation. This is the big one that I need people to really look at. Consolidation of homeless assistance programs into a single program. Refocus on short and medium-term housing assistance capped at 2 years. Hold on real quick. They just said medium term equals 2 years. That's what that means. That's crazy. That's crazy work, right? So basically, if you've been homeless, there's people who've been homeless for years, that get decades. Like helping and so forth. Now you got 2 years, they ain't gonna help you no more. And then also they're removing fair housing grants to end DEI in the federal government. So they also are taking that out, and it's a 2-year limit on rental assistance for adults without disabilities. I would agree with that. If you don't have a disability, what you doing staying on assistance like that? Like
stack and pack.
If you have a disability, we need to help our people who are disabled and our veterans too.
Right,
veterans as well.
Like,
but
you ain't got spinal bifida. Get your ass up.
I just don't. I know somebody specifically who said they ain't about to go to work because they not about to be nobody's slave. But you gonna take housing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We can go to work. We slaves.
The world ain't fair.
Nah, go ahead and head out. Them 2 years is up, my G.
Yeah, why I gotta work and you don't?
Because you a slave and I'm free.
Go ahead and create that while I need a beer sign and stand on the side of the road. Get you some Corona money so you can sit there with the rest of the damn losers that got their 2-year eviction notice talking about some. I thought I was gonna slip through the cracks. They gave me 2 years and a month. Now y'all comparing levels to the loser shit that y'all been on.
What I do hope though is that the disabilities do extend to like kids, like if you have kids who have disabilities and you need
Yeah,
like that
that
help,
you know
I'm
that
hoping
always goes
That's
into the
gonna
law.
always
That's
it
happen.
because
does
you're the
not
guardian.
explicitly state that. All I'm saying is that I hope that it said adults with disabilities is what it said. It did not say anything about children. So my hope is that if you are a parent of a child who has a disability, I hope that it extends to them as well. Otherwise, it's kind of trash.
But
But
even if that's the case, though, parents with children with disabilities, them kids get checks for life anyways. So you
if they
still
funded, they start cutting them funding, they won't.
they're not gonna cut the funding for our special needs kids. That's just not gonna happen. Well, that's why they're freeing up a lot of this stuff because
They
it's
might
more
put it
so
on the
geared
state
to
and be like, state, y'all figure out who in your
yeah.
system, y'all
And
figure it out.
and states get so much dollars based on their elderly and their
Disabled.
special needs citizens. So they're gonna still get some money. But the thing is, if you're a parent of somebody that has has special needs, or you're taking care of an elderly person, hell, if you got somebody that's living with you now that's elderly, you could go get a tax-free check for taking care of that person. So there's gonna be ways around that whole, well, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. No, what you're gonna do is, especially if they're elderly, they're gonna be able to apply for housing, and you can go right in there and live with Auntie Nat and them, and make sure that she cool and make sure she eat. She get a check, she get about close to $900 every month.
Depending on the state.
Might be getting Social Security if she worked long enough. So all of that stuff plays. So it's gonna be a lot of people complaining. We know that because they can't go get this.
It's mostly targeting the able-bodied adults who are not making strides to
as they
contribute
should. It should
to the
be,
economy.
listen,
Is the perspective of why this is happening.
This should be
We'll
this
find
the moment
out.
where them OnlyFans is gonna get freakier, and it's gonna be a lot more people applying for jobs. They're gonna be getting up off
Only
ass.
fans, boy. It's gonna have a wilderness in the background. That's what's gonna be.
Yeah, we outside.
Gotta,
we look
gotta,
I,
outside.
I'm home. I'm homeless. They're gonna be doing a lot of homeless role play, trying to get that check. I mean, it's gonna breed more hustlers.
Are your top stories? President Donald Trump has proposed a skinny budget that includes cutting federal government rent assistance by 40%, essentially ending the Section 8 voucher program. Trump proposes sending that money to individual states that can then design their own rental assistance programs based on their unique needs and preferences. In its request, the White House called the current system of federal rental assistance dysfunctional. The proposal would also impose a 2-year cap on rental assistance for able-bodied adults, sending a bigger share of the money to the elderly and disabled. In addition, the budget includes $25 million in housing grants for young people aging out of foster care. HUD Secretary Scott Turner said that the rental assistance programs have become, quote, too bloated and bureaucratic to efficiently function, and praised the restructuring of the aid programs. The budget has to be approved by Congress, but lawmakers are under pressure to cut excessive and wasteful spending from the federal government. With states taking control of the rental programs, they have the ability to make sure the same number of people are covered, giving the states more flexibility on how they can use the money. Another part of Trump's budget includes a shift on how homelessness funding is allocated, giving the money directly to the states rather than thousands of local nonprofits. That's what you need to know in Dallas.
Yeah, so it depends on where you live at. Now you can't just be like, oh, I'm about to just live in trying to think of a state like Texas, for example.
Everybody be running to these blue states like
Texas about to hit way different. Some of these states that turn a little more purple, it's about to be hitting different. Like Cali about to get a whole influx of more people. That's what's going on.
And this the thing
New York.
This the thing too. Now, this would be the thing that makes people even more hyper local and want to vote more in their local elections for certain things to take place. This, instead of looking up talking about it's Trump's fault, Trump like, nope, blame your state. I gave them the power to do what they need to do. It is not on me. The onus is not on me. I'm trying to figure out this tariff stuff and everything else. As far as that local stuff, I've empowered your government there. Talk to them people there. It has nothing to do with me, as it rightfully should be, because everybody's situation in these states tend to differ. It's not a one-size-fits-all situation, especially if we're talking about those different determining factors about elderly. Florida is a big elderly state, right?
Yeah.
You got people, it's a lot of people in foster care in the Midwest. I mean, the Midwest is a huge hub for sex trafficking. There are kids being rescued every day. Those kids have to be placed somewhere, especially if their parents are gone or whatever the case may be, to where they don't have access like that, right? They need to be placed somewhere. So these are all things I think that's going to work out for the best. And if you able-bodied, it was a song back in the day that Outkast made. You need to get up, get out, and get something. It's real. I'm sorry.
Not you quoting Outkast.
Yes, I am, because it still reigns true. It still reigns true. You better go sweep up a damn barbershop. You better be doing something, because you're not gonna be on the government teat anymore. Can't sit there complaining about what you're not getting and what you're not doing. We're a hunter. We're back into the hunters and gatherer era. You better get out and get what you need to get, sir, because they're not giving it away like they used to. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because it used to not be like that. When did it change over from state to federal? What administration was that before we go to our next topic? Do you remember what administration it was that they went from? Because it used to not be like that. It used to be back in the day, even when growing up, you couldn't take your Section 8 to like another state. That wasn't a thing.
It wasn't a Section 8 thing. It was housing projects. And then that is what garnered all the backlash, because people were being pushed into certain areas and made to stay, versus then this program giving people the opportunity to move to anywhere they wanted to be with housing that would accept the program or the voucher. So that gives people the opportunity to go to different schools, to be in rural or urban areas, to be able to go to the suburbs for once instead of having to be, put in the inner city and stuff like that. So that was the whole point of that. So I get it on why it happened, because the projects, everybody know about projects. People who grew up in projects today, there's still project housing areas today, but
super cheap.
It's So that one, if you ain't got the money for Section 8, where like I ain't got that 30%, well then you can go to the project housing, and then you'll have it covered completely, versus being in a space where you might have to pay $900 instead of $3,000.
And for my day drippers out there, we were just saying, talk to somebody that's much older about how things used to be. Talk to some single mothers that's a little older, that's 60-ish. Ask them what they mamas did when they turned 17, 18. Because a lot of them folks, they marched them right on down to a project. We're going to apply for you to get you your apartment, boo-boo, you and your son, because you can't live with me. That's what happened back in the day.
And they had the thing where the man couldn't be. That's the whole thing where people saying the man couldn't be in the house in order for people to maintain their housing. So that was the whole point of that. So I'm gonna pull up this last one before we go ahead and move.
Also getting answers on a topic that could affect people using Section 8 housing programs. Voucher holders locally have received letters warning them of federal funding being halted and potential rent increases. Western Mass News reporter Matt Price did some digging for us on this, and he joins us live from downtown Springfield with more. Matt?
Chris, this just adds to the drama of so much uncertainty many face across this country. That includes those who rely on these vouchers for safe and affordable housing.
On March 13th, the Commonwealth's Executive Office of Housing and Livable Communities sent a letter to Section 8 voucher holders, warning them that their rent in the next year or two might go up because of, quote, rising costs and insufficient federal funding. And the agency will have to stop its flexible tenant policies. Here's some of what is stated in this letter obtained by Western Mass News this afternoon. It says, quote, unfortunately, we can no longer afford to offer many of these special policies to our participants, and will have to return to using many of the same policies that most other housing authorities use. The letter goes on to say, "We understand that will increase costs for many households, but we made these choices to ensure that our program can serve as many households as possible given limited federal funding." Now, for context, here are some of those policy changes. EOHLC will no longer pay for a household security deposit, no more earned income deduction in rent calculation, no utility allowances for hot water and cooking, no extra grace period for lower payment standard changes, and $480 of a full-time student's income will be counted. Advocacy groups are keeping their eyes on these recent developments, including Arise for Social Justice here in Springfield. Housing and economic justice advocate and organizer Liz Busey says these changes will have a strongly negative impact and fears current Section 8 voucher holders are scared and are currently looking
They
for
just
other
say they're not
resources
giving
to
vouchers for hot
survive.
water
30
for
days
cooking.
notice is not enough
Right.
to try and supplement
That
your
seems kind of
income.
petty.
And supplementing your income is going to get you in trouble because you can't, not legally anyways. And so people are going to be suffering left and right. They're already looking for food pantries. I've had 3 calls about whether we have any utility money to help people pay, and that's just this morning.
Busey says this move could also mean an increase in evictions and homelessness. She also tells us the number of people sleeping in cars at the moment is going up. Right now, Arise for Social Justice is collecting tents in case people need to sleep outside, and they are collecting information about services in the area.
EHOLC says the changes will go into effect on or after May 1st at the voucher holders' next regular or interim rent certification. We tried reaching out to EHOLC, EOHLC for comment on this matter, but we did not hear back. Stick with us both on air and online as we continue to follow the latest. Reporting live in downtown Springfield, Matt Price, Western Mass News.
Right. So I mean, now we done seen one from a red state and one from Massachusetts. I don't know if Massachusetts is red or not. Massachusetts.
I don't think so. I think like the
I think
Connecticut's, the Massachusetts, and all of them,
they're
if
all
I'm not
blue.
mistaken, are blue. Like I think it's like New Hampshire, Vermont. One of them's not. It's like that's where it starts to get a little.
Yeah. I mean, but bottom line is that with this situation, there is going to be a negative blowback. We know this. There's a lot of people who are not as educated as others. May not know how to fill out an application. May actually really, live foot to mouth, and the government been taking care of them for so long. Those people are going to suffer, but I think just like with anything, there's going to be an adjustment period. You know what I mean? And I'm not just totally heartless and sitting here like, figure it out. No, it's a lot of people that actually had to really, let's put it this way. Somebody learned how to fill out an application for these programs. Either that or they got some assistance with doing it, right? Is it fair to say that, y'all? Like you had to learn how to do that. You learned, and that's the thing about being,
but also poor. like social workers also help people fill out those kind of things, because I might go there and I might not be able to read, etc. So that usually happens, or the social worker just hooks you up with it once you go. I'm going down there to a social worker. The social worker says, we got this program. We're gonna put you in temporary housing. You go to the shelter, then we're gonna get you in the section that whole thing happens.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's people who have actually learned how to manipulate the system because they didn't quite understand how to function otherwise. Their parents did the same things. It's generational poverty that they've learned to deal with, and they've become, embedded into the culture of a lot of these folks. That's why a lot of people are worried, and some people just don't do change well. But unfortunately, there is, I hate to say this, but there's profit in poverty. There's some people that made a ton of money off of people being poor and destitute and needing these programs. There's kickbacks going on. We know this. But here comes that adjustment period.
I mean, think about it. If I go into a specific area where all the houses are worth less than $10,000, I bought a block. And then I put everybody in there to rent at market, because I made the market now, because I got the whole block. So this whole block everybody paying $2,000 a month for rent. Really, then everybody
And what
got to
if I
pay
know the
400.
inspectors? What if I
There you go.
know the inspectors? What if I got into this business because it's about 15 housing inspectors that works for Section 8,
Yeah.
and they already let me know when they coming through and what's needed, or look, this is how you bypass this inspection. You making a ton of money off the government, you know what I mean? So everybody's gonna suffer one way or another, but it gotta be that adjustment period, man. I mean, how long? I think 2 years to me personally is long enough for you to figure it out. If you got the gun on you, if you get what I'm saying, if you're under the gun and people is like, you getting that letter, because I've seen people back in the day when they get the eviction letter or they get the letter from to let them know that the lights about to get turned off, all of a sudden they become financial
Get
MacGyvers.
that hustle.
They like, shit, I'm gonna call Teddy, I'm gonna call Brenda, and then I'm gonna go ahead and take the trash out for old Miss Laura. Miss Laura give me $30 every time I take the trash out, and then if I do the whoop, then I do the hit the hop, and then boot the scoop, I had that 150. Why you ain't do that these other months though?
Well, they was doing it, but they just wasn't doing that to pay the rent though.
That's my point.
They was doing that for something else, for hair did, nails did, everything did.
Girl, you got it all wrong. You can't keep your phone on. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's the whole point. Right now, it's about to be hustle nation. But the getting is about to be really, really good.
Well, that's a good segue into. Well, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna do the next one, by the way, because we're running out of time.
Sorry.
Okay. No, you're good. Because actually, it's a good, real quick to touch on DOGE, because Elon pretty much, from what I understand, is no longer running it. I have like a tickle in my throat, so I keep coughing. But Elon has kind of stepped down.
Wow. You need some wow.
Let her cook.
Anyways, before Cash Advance popped in, Advance America coming popping in. You hear all that? Check is what's it called? Checking cash popped in. I'm curious to know, a lot of these changes are happening due to like audits and what is uncovered, right?
Right.
And a lot of this is attributed to DOGE. After we'll watch a little bit of this video, I would like to get both of y'all's take, including you, Cash Advance or whatever. Get y'all's take on, do you think DOGE was effective or not? And if so, why? And if not, why? Because it is, from my lens, driving a lot of the change and like where some of these pieces and parts are moving.
Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency says it has saved billions of dollars through fraud detection, contract cancellations, and workforce reductions. It has led to tens of thousands of firings and sparked dozens of lawsuits. CNA's Ronnie Samtani takes a look at DOGE's impact so far as President Trump prepares to mark 100 days in office.
Despite its name, the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, is not an official U.S. government agency. Those can only be created by Congress. DOGE is a White House initiative that spawned from an executive order on Inauguration Day. Its mission, to save taxpayers' money and reduce U.S. national debt, which currently stands at roughly $36 trillion. Elon Musk, who helms Tesla and a host of other companies, is in charge of DOGE.
If money is spent badly, if your taxpayer dollars are not spent in a sensible and frugal manner, then that's not okay.
Many people would agree that it's a good thing government spending is being thoroughly scrutinized. But how DOGE is doing this is what's causing concern. The department operates as an advisory board, and according to the executive order, it must finish its work by the 4th of July, 2026. Workers at DOGE are classified as special government employees. That designation means they can only work for the government for 130 days or less in a year. Around the same time Tesla reported a plunge in sales and revenue, Mr. Musk said he will begin scaling back the time he spends running DOGE. but will continue to work on government issues for as long as the president wants him to. Technically, in this capacity, the world's richest person has zero legal authority to fire government employees or force their resignations. But he's done just that. He's ordered that nearly 200,000 workers be laid off in critical areas, causing chaos and confusion among government agencies. Cuts have targeted employees working on initiatives.
Like, that's huge. Didn't she say that he suggested that they be laid off?
Yeah.
So like,
yeah, he still can't fire nobody.
yeah, so like they're saying it's illegal, but as long as like it's almost like when people talk about stocks, right? They can say, "Oh, I like stocks such and such, and they've done X, Y, Z for me, and I believe in it. I will put X, Y, Z in it. However, I'm not a financial advisor. Now, you put your money in there and you lose your money. Can you sue them? No.
I told you to listen.
So I mean, that's the same thing. So I just think as we listen to these things too, like the keywords, and the keyword in there was suggest. He suggested that they fire people. The execution didn't actually come from his pen stroke. So
bottom line is this. So the question that was asked is has DOGE been beneficial?
do you think DOGE has been effective? If so, why? If not, why not?
Well, I'm gonna definitely think it's effective because it's actually caused the conversation to happen of where's our money going. This is and let's be honest, anybody who has had parents and growing up who work and constantly have to deal with potholes and deal with all of the different stuff that we always look at the government to fix, the number one question that always got asked is, where the hell is my money going? If this is going on, where is my tax dollars going? I spend all this money. They take all this tax money. Where is it going? Now, somebody finally pulled the curtain back and making us look at this stuff a lot differently than what we have. A lot more has been revealed. Personally, it's sparked a conversation. Now, from a voter standpoint, why wouldn't we want to know? And then they've saved 160 billion so far, right? That they've cut from ridiculous fraud and waste, money going elsewhere in the dumbest ways possible. The thing is about DOGE just showed just how embarrassing our country has been with money that we've been giving them. It's still entities that haven't accounted for how much money they've lost. The Pentagon alone can't even tell you where a lot of the money they've spent have went. CIA as well. Like, a lot of these different government entities look crazy right now. So I think it's been successful in showing you exactly how much fraud and waste that we've been dealing with. Because I would have never known that we was, basically paying for transsexual ballerinas in Germany and all, like, just dumb stuff. So and that's why it's very telling.
I think it's transgender. I don't know if we can use the word transsexual.
I don't. I'm just talking old school. It's the transsexuals. That's how it used to be back in the day, with the transsexuals. It was the Rocky Horror Picture Show people. All of that old stuff. But bottom line is that the telling part is how many people are against it. Why are you against saving money? Why are you against finding the fraud in ways? I think
it's the right message, is just the wrong messenger. I don't think that people are anti, but it was just kind of like, so the richest person wants to help save money. Doesn't sound odd to you? Does it sound odd at all?
Not really. Honestly, the person.
Nobody's ever gotten to that space without screwing over people, without doing backhanded kind of deals. There's no way that in his lifetime that he's never. You have to be a certain level of selfish to be able to get to that kind of level, though. Like, because you have to care about, like, I'm gonna do this. Like, your ego got to be something crazy to even hit something like that. I don't. So that's why people got their eyebrows raised, because it's like, Does he really want to help? Did he really find that?
But this
Did
is
he?
it's the same
Did
guy that they
he
gave.
find that?
This the same guy they gave all that damn money to out of all those different entities that was supposed to do a job, and he's the only one that came back and paid back money that was given to him. His credit is good with America. Before he got cool with Trump, I don't care if it was me. That poor black
Having
dude
money
with the
don't
Yankee hat
necessarily make
on.
you evil, though. That's the
He
other
trying
thing
to
that we
trying to
trying to tell.
rob us.
Not about it being
He from
evil,
Ohio.
but
They
it's
rob
just-
people. They gonna demonize anybody that's gonna slow up how they make money on the back end, and that's the way it is. I mean, a lot of Democrats are showing just how crooked they are with this DOGE situation. This man is losing money. They talking about some he's getting richer. How? What money has he made? In fact, it was all good when he was granted the highest clearance by Joe Biden. You know what I mean? Like Barack and them pretty much made him billions of dollars from the gate with the contracts they gave him with SpaceX and everything else. So
SpaceX, I mean vouchers for was it E vehicles or whatever. Like
yeah,
who was the main person that had electric vehicles out at the time? Tesla was the industry leader. Everybody else was trying to
right.
catch up. So
Right.
if you got an electric vehicle, you got was it $7,000 to $8,000 off. People was doing that alone because of that situation.
Right.
So, yeah.
So why?
So
I'll
let me
throw my
finish this one out.
I'll throw
can't
in
he
my
pay it
2
forward?
cents real quick.
Right.
I don't think that we'll know the impact of DOGE at least for another year. I think that there's always criminal activity going on, no matter which party it is. Like they'll be like, oh yes, they all cut from similar cloth. So
All
it's
day.
just yeah. So like why people are like, oh, they're no, they all kicked it with each other. Their kids go to school together. Okay, like they running in the same circles.
Everybody was affected when that man started talking about how much money was being spent. There was a lot of people saw it like, damn, there go that weekend house in Nantucket.
Do I believe all of that? I don't know. I actually don't know if I believe that all the money that was found was actually found. I think it's easy to say something's found when no one ever audits them. It's like being able to say what the baseline is, because nobody was ever going to actually go in and do that. So now moving forward, there is a baseline. So to me, I don't think we'll really know for another year or two. But to me, what's the point of us having like IRS and all these other entities if y'all not even checking, like doing any checks and balances internally? Like what is going on?
Right.
Why y'all here? What y'all
That's
here
the
for?
point. There it is. And that's the point
so
right there.
To
That's
me,
point
the number
right
one thing, regardless of like cutting stuff, would be to figure out who isn't doing their job, implement where they should do their job. But I don't know about going through slashing on. I don't agree with all the slashing going on because we're not gonna see how many people are actually going to be incredibly poor because of this until about 2027.
Right.
2026.
But we also
it's gonna be bad.
Wrapped up in a lot of these firings and suggestions for people being laid off and all of that stuff. You had a bunch of entitled ass people in DC that was just like empty buildings that as taxpayers we're paying for while they at the house probably hopping on a pogo stick, kicking it, frying eggs.
They gotta do something. These people do something. Like
They'll figure it out. And I agree with you. We probably won't
figure it out, Lord.
I mean, because what they gonna tell the people at the Ford plant that got laid off? What they gonna tell the people at Chrysler that got laid off?
So I think there's an interesting dynamic, right? When I work at a factory, a plant, and so forth, layoffs are common. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not so common in all spaces of areas of work, though.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would say, if I had a government job, they always tell you how secure you are, and that just kind of makes that untrue.
Yeah. But at the same time, why do you think people were at or is as entitled as they are? Because I'm cemented. I ain't gotta get shit. What you mean describe to you what I do on a day-to-day? I don't have to send you no email. I ain't gotta tell you what I do. Who is you? Exactly.
I mean, they don't work in a private. That's not the culture in which they were hired in. For example, I've always worked in the corporate. I've had corporate jobs where they do that weekly things. When they're like, "Oh, they making us do weekly," I'm like, "All right." I mean, I've had to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. But deeper
But
than
I've also
that,
had places where I didn't
you
have
do
to
your
do that.
damn
But
job though, and that's really all it boils down to. Do you do your job? What you were hired to do. If you do your job, then it shouldn't be hard for you to say, "This is what I do," right? And like you said, the culture with, like, say, a factory, right? The culture was they got used to layoffs. Once upon a time, nobody was being laid off. They were highly profitable. That's why said factory was built, right? They had the job security. A lot of them had unions. You know, a lot of them unionized. So they made sure that their jobs were secure to a certain extent, right? But when those profits go down, we gotta let some people go. We gotta cut the dead waste, right?
and it's happening in the corporate space too. Like people do make it seem like, oh, the government's just losing their jobs. Like, no, us corporate people losing their jobs too.
Yeah.
Which, if you talk about entitlement, is it's hard. I imagine it's hard to make like 40,000 and lose your job, right?
Yeah.
But just imagine that you made 100,000 plus,
right?
And now you lose your job.
Right.
To me, people who make it 40,000 can still live within their means, because like 40 is not as, like, you kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not as you said, like, entitled. You're making 100,000 plus, and now you have nothing. What you finna do?
Update that damn
No,
resume.
you was living above your means. That's what that sounds like to me.
Most, I think. But
Hold
I
on,
think,
let me.
oh, go
Can I
ahead.
get in on this action? So with 40K, everything still costs what it costs. So food still costs what it costs. That's more of a higher percentage of your paycheck that's going to that. You have what's called discretionary income. I know that every time that I talk, people don't want to listen, but it's all right. So when you have that extra money, you got like people looking at you at that point like, "Hey, you done had 200 G's a year. What you mean you broke? You about to lose your house? Like you done made $1 million over the course of 5 years. So what is that looking like? You can't sustain your household for
Yeah.
6 months.
Nah,
You straight broke right after that. Well, you need to sell them Gucci shoes. You
Well,
need
hold
to sell
on.
them
You
Prada
can
bags.
find your house no 5K.
No
That
one
part
told you to do
trimmable.
that.
Who
But look
told you to
though,
do that?
if your house is 800 a month, you can do some OnlyFans and you can get to that pretty quickly. You ain't about to get to 5 bands like that. You could have to
Or if
start
you in a
something.
private sector and you've been working your A off for the last 8 years, you can live off your savings and update that resume, get you another job.
And then
My
have
thing,
skill sets that open your own business potentially too.
but think about this too. How fair is it that the country is $36 trillion in debt, and you got mofos sitting at home with government jobs like this, chilling, barely doing anything. They don't want to tell you what they do. They don't feel they have to explain anything to anybody. I feel like they should be more nervous than anybody.
I'm gonna leave it at
I
this.
feel
To
like
me, I
the
think they're the
government
equivalent
job
of.
is equivalent of Section 8. Like once you
There
get
you go.
it,
I was about to get to that. See, I was gonna say that's my last thing is that the
Right.
way that's being conveyed is no different than Section 8 because, like, you know,
I made it.
I don't have skills to do XYZ, so I'm just finna just live here and just do me. And it's like, nah, your hands, like I said, your hands work, right? Your legs work.
You didn't know how to kiss once upon a time, you practiced. You didn't know how to lay down with somebody once upon a time, you practiced. You figure it out, you'll get it together. But you should already be ahead of the crowds out there that's going through similar things because you've made X amount of dollars. Why weren't you stacking? In fact, you ain't even have to drive to work. You've been in the house for 3 years.
Yeah, you better take that low mileage car and give it to CarMax then.
I am insanely jealous. I would love to not go in the office every doggone day. That
Me
is,
too.
it is trash. Like
I
I
closed
don't
the
have
office.
empathy on that part. Like kind of
Actually, I'm the only one in the
send that
office.
email, baby. Just send that email.
Today, I was the only one in the office having a
it's
Teams
Friday.
meeting.
Are y'all like
everybody
3 day or
else
y'all 5 day?
I'm in
He
there
go
every
there
day
when
because
he do what he do because he getting that money. So you go where you can be the best you can be at. And some people
That's it.
don't understand why people want to go into an office. It's put you in that environment to go and get it, right? Plus, some people got cushy offices anyway. You got the desks that go up and down. You got the chairs that go around. You got people. I need this special extra size monitor because
Make everybody have
I
original seating.
I got
promise
all of
you.
that.
I promise you, they
I got
won't
all of
want
that. But guess what? I when they come over to me, they got to see me kicking A because I'm in the office. And it's kind of the way I look at it the same way. If somebody was in the streets, a street pharmacist was like, "You mean you gonna leave me on this block by myself?"
Oh, I'm getting it all.
I'm getting it all. It's me, baby. I got it.
Pharmacist.
It's me, baby.
You ain't got no customers. They know who they going to now. They see my face. They don't know you.
Listen, all I got is a hustle. What I don't have is an excuse. I'm out here.
There you
and
go.
The same thing for these government workers. Thompson, oh my God, Elon's taking my job. You better update that damn resume.
Yeah, and update your pronouns.
I think it was effective in shaking up people because I think people have gotten way too damn comfortable. It's way too many Gen Zs that have been placed in a situation and quiet quitting and relaxing and talking about, well, he don't know what he's talking about. Who is he? He only the richest man in the world. What do he know about what I do? He's learning what you do, sweetie. You got a whole team studying you right now. This your time to shine. This your time to shine. They ain't taking my job from me. This is mine. You can't take it. That should be the attitude, but it's not though.
Cassius Pay.
Listening to Jasmine Crockett.
Don't do that. Cassius Pay. What do you think
Run
those
that
was
clip,
impactful?
That's all I do is run clips.
No, I'm asking Cassius Pay if did you think that DOGE was impactful? Because we gonna head out of here soon. So I want to make sure we get your thoughts on that.
No, what I think it did, it put people on notice that you aren't safe. Like, don't think that somebody ain't looking at this. The government isn't the end all be all. The government should also be audited. Like that's what it do. We've forgotten the fact that they work for the people. The people don't work for the government. So once you get a part of the gang, it's like you on that side, you over here, like, you know what I'm saying? GOV, that's what this is over here, Buster, and all that kind of stuff.
And
then
those
now,
pulled up like, oh, you thought you was safe, huh? Why you laughing when they was telling the jokes? Oh, you gonna get your ass rolled next. You ain't safe.
Why you Matter of fact, where that email at?
Oh no, we're not doing hood speak up in here on the government workers.
Matter of fact, what about that email?
Leave them alone. Leave them people, leave them folks alone. That's all I got. Y'all got anything else y'all need to add to this, and we go ahead and play our outro and get out.
For my day trippers, do you all think that DOGE have been successful of sorts? Now granted, those waves and ripples might not be felt for another year or two, but do you think we off to a good start with DOGE?
I mean,
that's my question.
Yeah, in my opinion, I think that at least put the blueprint out there of what it could be, what it should be. It had to be forced in order for it to happen. Like it because nobody has the authority to make a department but the Congress. Okay, then make it then.
They liked it when Clinton was talking about it.
They liked
it when Barack was talking about it.
He slashed and hacked and slashed. He was the worst surgeon ever on the government.
Then Trump pulled up and said, well, you know, the people that came before me was doing it. I'm going to do it a little better and maybe a little different. And everybody went crazy.
No, Cheeto. No, Cheeto.
Right.
Don't
Orange come. Man tripping.
Don't come. Don't come.
I'm coming.
Where is this going?
That is all for our daily drip
What in the
show.
Cassie on the stand is we talking about right now?
I am your co-host, Jim Jones.
And I am playing Dane.
And I'm coming.
Wow. And this is our daily drip show. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Make sure y'all
pause me for this.
He's on the wrong drip show.
Right, I don't know what's going on. He dripping something else. Make sure y'all share. Make sure y'all share. Make sure you share it to 2 friends, and make sure y'all drop a comment. Let us know what y'all are interested in. If you think, oh, that's a bad segue too. Let us know what topics.
What you interested in, huh?
I know. Right?
I tell you, I'm interested in a lot of things.
Yeah.
Ponies, cars.
Oh wow. Make sure y'all leave us a comment. We appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all subscribe. Like I said, check out our Instagram, our Daily Drip Show. Make sure y'all check us out. We on Threads. And we just appreciate y'all rocking with us and hanging out and tuning in. And that's all for me.
All right, y'all. And I appreciate you, day trippers. Sending. I mean, we embrace all the love. We do read the DMs. Just stay tuned. And thank you guys for liking my shorts. I don't like my shorts as much as y'all like my shorts, but I'm glad that y'all like my shorts because I kind of started to like my shorts a little bit. That's all I got.
Yeah, you've been killing on the shorts. Make sure y'all share. Like I said, we out of here. Bye. I thought we had some outro music.
I wasn't ready for that because I was gonna say something crazy.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What you said.
Go ahead. Say what you said. Go ahead. Say what you said.
Trey, let me serenade the streets of LA.
That's what I'm about to say.
Revive. We're here and take that.
Soaking minds where dreams are fed.
Wrong stream. Wrong stream.
Wrong drip show.
Wrong drip show.
Ooh wee.
Yeah. What you waiting for? Let the freak show begin.
Oh yeah. We're letting y'all know we might even take a hot break and come back with the late night stuff that we talking about right now.
The late night drip live.
All the messy.
We'll see. We'll see how this squad feels. That's rare. I don't know if I've seen anybody do a back to back like that. We'll see.
Hey. We outside.
Yeah. We outside.
We outside.
We outside.
I'm sitting down. I am not tripping.
All right, my food about to be here. I gotta get up off this. I'm out.
Okay. Make sure y'all check that out.
Impact the DOGE. You might want to take that off. Put Cassie on there.
Why not? That might be impacting on DOGE.
Wow. Drop some drip, y'all. We appreciate you.
It's the freaking weekend. We're about to have us some fun.
Each new day, every drop a mapping guide through the chaos far and wide.
All right, let them know what's going on the running kind before we be out.
All right, follow me, plain_Dame on your socials. Lot of stuff coming along. I'm just coming off of a successful prime season. You know, I've been taking pictures of a few people that's going on 4-year rides with their schools paid for. My kids, they really held it down this year, man. Prime looked tasteful. And
for real? It wasn't nothing extra like the normal?
Nah, not with the pictures I took.
All right. Okay. Yeah, we ain't doing that. You're gonna be able to see these in 2 years without being embarrassed.
Yeah, you can get a corporate job or a sponsorship with the pictures I've taken. It ain't what.
There you go. He was over here, photographer Uncle Daddy over here, like, nah, we ain't doing that. I don't do those.
Them ain't gonna make the final cut.
Peace.